I've been working on a variegated corn project for about 4 or 5 years now. I thought it was about time for another update on this project so I could let newer folks know how it started and let everybody else know where it's going. And I'll also let you know what I hope to accomplish this year. All of the video clips that you'll see in this video were taken of last year's corn. Last year I planted some of the variegated corn that I've been working with, and I also planted a row of multicolored popcorn so I could improve the popping ability of my corn. My intention was to cross the two types of corn, which is what I did. This project started about 5 years ago or so when I crossed some glass gem corn with some popcorn. The resulting cross had multicolored ears and popped better than glass gem corn. I later crossed that cross with japonica corn that has variegated leaves. With that cross I gained the variegation, but I lost some of the popping ability. Now I'm trying to improve the popping ability by crossing it with a multicolored popcorn in hopes of improving the popping ability and keeping some good multicolored ears. I've discovered over the last several years that the more variegation you have in the corn, the less hardy the plant is. In order for the variegated corn to pollinate the popcorn and not have the popcorn pollinate the variegated corn or itself, I remove the tassels from the popcorn. By leaving the tassels on the variegated corn only, I was sure that it would pollinate itself and the popcorn. By early July, the variegated corn was tasseled out and producing ears, but the popcorn was about 2 weeks behind the variegated corn in producing ears. So I ended up not having very good pollination in the popcorn, but I still produced enough seeds from that to have enough seeds for this year. As you can see, the popcorn here has no tassels. If you've never grown corn before, it's probably a bad idea to grow two types together because they will cross, and you might be disappointed in the results. As you can see, we had quite a bit of grasshopper damage to our corn last year. This is a look at the variegated corn. I expect these to be pollinated better than the other type of corn than the popcorn, and it feels like they are just filling that first ear. As I mentioned, the popcorn was about 2 weeks later than this corn, and that's why it didn't have very good pollination, I think. I'm going to go ahead and pull all of this. We'll see what we have. This is our variegated corn. Since it tasseled out earlier than the other type, I expect it to have a lot better pollination and be self-pollinated. As you can see, most of them are, at least in this year, got good pollination. There's a couple empty spots, but not many. It's kind of a pretty ear. Break off that weird end. Alright, I was wondering if we were all going to get all one color there for a bit. Those probably came from the same plant. Although I do expect to see a few others that color. There we go. Got some decent variety, I guess, so far. This one's interesting. I have to give you a closer look at this. It's got some like streaking in the individual kernels. Kind of cool to look at. But these are all from the variegated corn, so if I could keep them all looking just like this one, I would be happy. In the variegated corn, we ended up with quite a few different colors, which is what I was shooting for. Although they did look good, they still didn't pop as well as I would like, which is why I crossed them with the popcorn. Depending on how this year's crop turns out, I hope to release some of these either this year or next year. Let me know if you have any suggestions for this project down in the comments. Here's a closer look at some of the ears with the streaking that I mentioned earlier. I think it's kind of a neat look. Here's a look at the multicolored popcorn, and as I mentioned before, it didn't get pollinated very well because it started to tassel out and produce silk about 2 weeks later than the variegated corn. But as you can see, we still got some seeds, so I'll have plenty to plant this year. And when I plant these, about 1 in 4 of the seedlings that result from the planting should be variegated. If I get enough variegated plants from these, then what I plan to do is cross it back again to the popcorn. And then next year when I plant the seeds from that cross, I once again should get about 1/4 of the seedlings that are variegated, except by then I should have some corn that pops very well and is variegated. Let me know if you've ever grown any type of multicolored corn, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.